back, baby. We are back and better than ever. The Lions with a 47-9 victory in Jerry World on Jerry Jones's birthday. The owner of the Cowboys, he said the Lions were they were just there to have a lot of fun and just do whatever they wanted. And this was one of the most fun games I've ever watched as a Lions fan in my lifetime. And I'm sure a lot of us might agree with that. Of course, there's one issue that we'll talk about, one thing that happened in this game that we'll talk about. But before we get into all this, let's introduce Blue Kool-Aid crew this year. I'm Big Z. Let's get the rest. We got UJ.
Greetings, Lions fans.
And Red Dog.
Yo.
And our producer, Kid J, on standby, in case he wants to chime in every once in a while.
Right.
But, gentlemen, the 47-9. I just before we get into the whole game, though, we have to bring up. We had to start with Hutch here because it's just a heartbreaker. I teared up a little when I saw the replay. This is a guy that just
I think we all did.
He's the heart and soul of this team in a lot of ways. Like he's the true essence of what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and this whole organization is trying to build. Just with his hustle, his elite talent, etc. And it's just heartbreaking to see that injury.
He was playing so good. So good. Like MVP, Defensive Player of the Year conversation all the way. And like it just sucks to see that just cut short. So it like as he adds a sack to it, like
yeah. And it's funny. I as a fan, you're rooting for your team, and we had this great winning thing. But I was really more heartbroken about Hutch personally than the game, than the team actually. And because as Lions fan, we grow attached to our players over the years. Even when we're really bad, you attach to somebody you like. I like that guy because he plays harder. I like that guy. Well, this team's got a lot of people to attach to, and Hutch is just one of those guys that I think we really, really we've become a part of it. He's become part of us and our Lions fandom and a big part of it, and it's just really sad to see him go down like that. I think fortunately, though, he looks like he's going to make a full recovery eventually, so that's the good news.
Yeah, they said a 4 to 6 month timetable. Now, the Detroit News reported that they spoke to someone that's very close to the family, and they said they think he could be ready by the Super Bowl potentially. I think there's almost zero chance of that happening, but if anybody could do it, it's Hutch.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling, you guys. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. Like, maybe it's unlikely, but I just don't know. I just have a feeling. If anyone could, like you said, anyone could do it, it's probably him. This guy, I don't know. I just have a feeling he's going to defy the odds here. But it blows in the meantime.
Yeah.
I just think the way the Lions handle injuries, I'd be shocked if they would even let him play.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to let him play unless he's ready. And what that means is like actually ready. Like Dan Campbell's not going to push it. Like it's like, oh my God, I got the cast off today. All right, you're back in for the Super Bowl. Like if he has to actually have a chance to pass all the protocols. They're not. You're right. They're not going to risk him unless it's like very borderline and like he's already pretty much back. Like that's the only way. Like if we're in the Super Bowl, he might punch Dan in the face and run on the field and do it anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably not. It's just sad. That was probably the saddest thought to me. Was just like when we win the Super Bowl this year, it's just going to look different without him out there.
Absolutely. And we could talk later about how to fill that and stuff. I just want to get to the Hutch part first because that's out in the front of everybody's minds. I know.
Yeah.
But we can talk about replacing him a little later in this episode, and things of that nature. And it's just as a complete unrelated side note, we record this usually during the middle of Monday Night Football, and Aaron Rodgers threw another Hail Mary for a touchdown. He's so good at that. He is unbelievable at that.
He has a knack for it.
I still remember that one in Detroit that he threw. I'll never forget.
Yep. Oh yeah. Anyways, so let's get to this game. 47-9.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Besides the Hutch of it all, this was one of the most fun games I've ever watched. The Lions just did whatever they wanted anyway on both sides of the ball the entire game. it got to the point where the Lions were trolling the refs and everything, throwing out 7 offensive linemen. Dan Skipper lining up as a wide receiver by the end of this game. Even on a kneel down, they lined him up as wide receiver and made him report him as eligible again.
They were determined to score with an lineman in this game, despite failing.
Oh yeah, it was a blast to watch this game. And man, they just dominated up front. They could do whatever they wanted in the run game, and it just went from there. I don't even know where to start. Every single person in this game had a great game. I want to start with Tim Patrick, though.
Yeah,
I think the Lions have really solidified the third wide receiver. He had that big catch to start the game down the sideline, third long, or third and short. Great adjustment. I didn't realize he had that in his game still. That kind of deep ball 50-50-esque. I thought he was more of like a zone, just a guy that kind of catches it and finds a zone. But that was really good to see. That's a really encouraging sign for that third wide receiver spot that we had a lot of questions about coming in.
There's a lot of heartbroken Denver fans. There was a lot of stuff on Twitter and stuff about missing Tim Patrick from the Denver fans. So.
It is puzzling to let him go.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily with 2 years of being out of the game. I mean, I don't know. It opens the possibility for those kinds of conversations. Like, you bet on a guy 2 years in a row and you lose him. Like, the Lions only do that with guys. It seems like Emmanuel Mosley and they like to bet on the injured guys. Not everyone does.
I did want to see him get in the end zone there. He was so close.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was.
Oh yeah.
A slight outstretched hand.
Nice example though of what you get for a big receiver. How he could just kind of all muscle his way down there. That was.
Yeah, that's something we've been missing, and. Yeah, he's
Run Dog. I think this was the closest we've ever been to one of your score predictions.
Yeah, I'm so unrealistic, right?
What was your prediction for this one?
It was 52-3.
Hey, mine was off by 42-13, so I wasn't far off either.
Oh, yeah, wow. No, you weren't.
I love it.
I don't know how you guys thought it was going to be a close game. This was a revenge game.
I mean,
this
I
was
took
personal.
the Lions big,
this was personal to the Lions.
But they, like I mentioned, they did whatever they wanted. Montgomery 12 for 80, Gibbs 12 for 63, rushing, of course. Jared Goff only 18 completions, but 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jamison Williams had a 37-yard catch. Khalif Raymond had a 38-yard catch. Tim Patrick had a 42-yard catch. Sam Laporta had a 52-yard catch and a reverse flea flicker. Cool designed play.
That was great.
Incredible.
Gibbs had a 20-yard catch. Monroe had a 16-yard catch. I mean, they just were doing whatever they wanted. Goff had... I mean, without Micah Parsons in there, he had all day to throw. He could do whatever he wanted.
That's why he was so surprised when he got sacked. Like what happened? This isn't supposed to happen.
He was in total command. Goff was in this game, just really incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like casually stepping up in the pocket, just seemed so relaxed and just
like the throw to JMO in the right at the goal line, like from 30 plus yards away or whatever. Just laid it in there perfectly. It made it look like like he was just in the middle of summer practicing with them.
Exactly,
type of throw,
that's what it looked like.
Super chill. And they're really humming on all cylinders here on offense, and it's really fun to see that as we go into a massive game.
Tell me this
upcoming week.
Is there anyone doing it better than David Montgomery right now?
As running back?
Dude, yeah,
I don't know. He might be the best. About it.
Like, and he gets a little more of the load, but like Monty is just playing so damn good right now.
He really is.
He's the best running back on this team right now in this point in time for the first 5 games of the season, in my opinion. Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously ridiculously talented and very good, and he's playing well. But like he still hasn't found like that next level that we know he's gonna find soon enough. But like right now, Monty's playing at that next level, and it's just so dirty to watch.
Yeah, I mean they're two different types of running backs. Gibbs is much more like straight line, like he's going to hit the hole immediately once he gets the ball handed off. Montgomery is slightly more patient, looking for cuts here and there. But whenever he does make a cut, it's not like a sideways cut; it's always vertical. He's always going forward.
Yeah.
Not all the running backs out there do that. The elite ones do.
Yeah, it's his incredible balance too. Like if he gets knocked off line or something, he just has this incredible balance. I mean, that one touchdown. I mean, he looked like he was going down. Then the guy had his shirt. He just sort of plants his legs, pops backwards, spins around. He's incredible. It's just so much fun to watch.
That one when he got he looked like he's gonna lose 2 yards to the left of the line, and he just kind of all of a sudden right before the whistle, you just see him Superman for 3 yards. He just literally jumped out of the leg tackle. And it was it was awesome. You never count that man out. Yeah. Oh man, he's just so good, and he's got such a wonderful blend of skill set. He's not slow. He's very agile and shifty, but he also has all that power and sets it up so well.
It's kind of crazy too. Usually running backs, as they get older, they're slightly digressing. He just seems to be more athletic, more agile, whatever it is. He just seems to be getting better and better as we go along. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
he got a 2-year extension, a well-deserved extension.
Absolutely.
Freaking awesome.
I was just going to say that.
And you know why we can do that, though, compared to a lot of other teams maybe, is look at the carries in that game. He had 12, Jameer had 12. That balance is what's going to keep both of those dudes fresh down the stretch.
Well, and a good offensive line always helps.
Oh, well, yeah.
They are just blowing them off the ball in this game. A lot of fun to watch.
Oh, so much fun
just
to
complete dominance at all levels
where do
in
you
this
start?
game.
I want to say Ben Johnson in this game. This was personal to Ben Johnson, too. He really wanted a lineman to score in this game really bad.
Yes, he did.
And that play to Decker almost actually worked. Goff threw a
so
tremendous
did the Sewell one.
Yes,
Did work.
Goff almost fitted in there.
Oh, my God.
The Sewell one just took a little too long to develop.
But that was cool as hell, that play, though.
It was cool. It was really cool. Well, how athletic was he to almost get in? Even
I know.
at that size, that's ridiculous. He
Rags just got downfield too quick. He needs to pause a little longer. But at least it was I don't know, maybe it makes it worse when it's a fellow O lineman that does you dirty like that, and you get a chance to score, and your old boy does you bad, gets to take it away.
I think the rule is 1 yard. We were arguing about that. I believe the rule is 1 yard past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Is it one?
Yeah. And he was about 2.5.
If you remember in our season prediction episode, I said over 2.5 catches was the number. So we're at 1 right now for offensive lineman catches. Yeah. So, if Decker caught it, would have been 2 in one game. But there you go.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
But man, fun all around. I think a really cool moment in this game for me was J-Mo. He drops the ball over the middle, and then Goff goes right back to him the next play on a post route over the middle, and it was almost the same exact route. And it just showed a trust. It was nice. I guess the first one was kind of more of a deep crossing route. The second one was a post, a skinny post up the middle. But either way, I love that Goff running right back to him immediately. That also shows the Lions are just doing whatever they wanted out there. J-Mo, go back to your next play. You're going to be open. Just catch it this time.
And it just shows confidence. It's same thing. You get a running back you do believe in, makes a mistake like fumbles. You don't you give it to him again, right?
Yeah, it's just great teamwork, teammates. Being just great team ball. Period.
Okay, that actually brings me to a question because I've heard something, but I don't know what. And I've been trying to get an idea. What happened after that Amon-Ra touchdown?
Yeah.
He ran all the way back to the bench, didn't celebrate with anybody. I thought he was gonna go do a TO on the star or something for a second, but I can't find. The only video I could find is him running all the way back to the bench and doing no celebration, which was weird. And then someone's whispered an idea of him being upset or something about targets, and that just seems so out of character. But I'm just curious if you guys.
Well, it's not out of character because he's gotten upset about not getting enough targets before in the past.
In a winner.
In winter, yeah.
That was That's pouty. Though.
How many catches did he have in this game?
1 touchdown,
4 targets, 4 catches, 37 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Yeah, what? Yeah, that's why it just doesn't seem like
1,
it. But
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine. There's really nothing to worry about there.
No,
first of all,
I'm just curious if.
First of all, he's been paid.
I ain't worried. I'm just curious if anyone knew more. That's all.
You talk about you can't afford to be a prima donna in this team. There's too many weapons on this team. You got to spread the ball around.
Well, it's definitely killing. It's probably his vision board numbers have to be just way off this year. I'm sure they weren't less than the 1,500 or whatever he got last year, and he ain't anywhere near that pace this year.
I think if he wants his numbers, he's got to go into a bad team.
Well, that's the thing. This team is got to be a nightmare for all those fantasy points people because we got all too many handcuffs.
Right.
Everyone's taken, though. I will say J-Mo's probably the safest bet with his pure explosiveness, though.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really don't think there's much to it. I heard that as well, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not
Not
too
a lot
worried
there
about it
either.
either, but I was just curious.
Yeah, I got to mention an unsung guy here that really no one talks about much, but Jake Bates had 17 points in this game.
Yeah,
17 points.
Finally kicked the deep field goal.
Yeah.
Finally was tested a little bit there.
Yeah, 4 field goals
What
and
was the long one?
5 extra points. That's
I
a
believe
hell
it
of
was,
a game.
I'll confirm this, but I thought it was 43. It was his longest.
48.
Oh,
48, yep.
Oh, so he hasn't kicked a deep field. That's not deep
Well,
in the
it's
NFL.
reasonably deep. You know?
I mean, it's farthest one before this was 30. So
yeah,
we haven't
Was
seen
it
him tested
really?
at all from that distance. It also speaks to the Lions. First of all, their strategy going for on fourth down, and then just how good their offense has been lately.
right.
Oh yeah, we didn't punt
but
once.
I want to throw it over to
Jack
the other side of the
Fox
ball because there was a guy. He goes by BB, but he also
A lot of
goes
BBs.
by the name of Brian Branch.
Ooh, he
Holy
played
cow!
great.
What a game! I think we really missed him against the Seahawks. I think we spoke to that on the last podcast.
Yeah.
But our guy, 2
We did?
interceptions, another great punch out on a forced fumble. I mean, just all over
That
the
was
place
that was
on this-
Peanut
on the
Tillman
field.
esque right there.
Peanut Tillman. I was just
I
gonna
know.
say it.
It was Peanut Tillman esque. That punch out was just a thing of beauty. Absolutely
Like,
beautiful.
He should really
reminds-
coin out. He should really. I wonder if he's trademarked Peanut Punch because I see that so much on any football broadcast. Anytime
Really?
someone punches out the ball, they reference Peanut Tillman.
Well, he was
punching
probably the
ball out.
best
He was
I've
a
ever seen
master
at
of
it.
it.
But,
He was. He really
but
was.
Branch was that was just picture perfect the way he did that, and it stayed in bounds, which was amazing to me. I think because the way
Yeah.
it hit off his leg, because he was right by the sideline there. That could have easily
Terry
gone out of
on
bounds,
Johnny
but-
on the spot.
Wow, fantastic, Branch.
He was just all.
Grant.
I mean, the instincts that he shows. That's why you get him. It's crazy that we got him 44th overall in the draft.
Yeah. Amazing.
43
Honestly,
teams passed on that guy.
This secondary is part of why, like, a Hutch. I mean, isn't such like obviously it sucks. Hutch leaving is they have to figure out some crazy things to replace him. But the secondary gives you a lot of hope about why this defense can still be good because so much talent. And Terrion's getting better. His first penalty-free game. Freaking
Yeah.
Carlton Davis has just been so solid and better than solid, really. And then those safeties. And then what if we get like Iffy back? Meek Robertson.
Well,
too,
Iffy to me is a
mentioned.
solution to the Hutch problem because of his ability to blitz.
He was last year, remember?
Yeah, maybe.
He sparked our pass rush down the stretch last year.
He did. So I look. I mean, we're not getting him back for a few weeks still, at the very least.
We don't
Rest
need
up,
him yet.
Iffy. Rest
But
up.
I'll tell you,
Get some fresh legs.
we're seeing the Brad Holmes effect here, though. The depth of this team that we can still dig deep into it. You know, we lose a guy.
Oh yeah.
And we don't immediately drop off, like we used to in the past. If we lost a starter, we were doomed. But we have a lot of depth on this team. Really nice to see.
UJ, though, to go away from depth for a second, because we skipped over one, I think, of the best players in this game, which was Alim McNeill. Was a terror up the middle, up in the pass rush. That dude, that's another dude who gives you hope about how this thing is going to continue to go because Campbell talked about it. He was disappointed in his performance against the Seahawks. So this week he really kind of doubled down, and you come
He's
out
a
with a
monster.
performance
He
like
was.
that, like holy smokes. 2 sacks from a tackle, and oh my gosh, if he keeps playing like that, we're going to be able to get other guys going. Someone else will step
I'll
up.
tell you about
Definitely
him
4
and
tackles
Reeder in the
overall.
middle.
Yeah, 3 quarterback hits.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Whew.
Yeah, just a monster. Unfortunately, he got pressure on one play. I wish he didn't get because that was the one Hutch hit his leg on.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But
Right up
Yeah.
to that point, they're probably the best tackle end combo out there.
right, I think DJ Reader's helping too. Up the middle, just giving Lee McNeill more one-on-one opportunities as well.
Levi's playing well.
Levi's playing well, so I mean,
Pascal's
there
playing
is.
Pascal,
Pascal,
I think.
did you see when Pascal got that shot on Dak? He shot, I think he was pretty much unblocked, but it did he shot into that backfield so fast, and you could really. The first time I watched it, I just noticed someone flash into the backfield. It was like it was a blink and you miss it, and I like rewind. I was like, "Holy crap! It's Pascal. That dude is explosive, and he's just going to keep getting better." And honestly, Ukwu looked pretty solid when he came in. I like Nowaski. I everyone's freaking out about getting more talent on this team, and while I don't disagree that we should be looking for it, I don't feel panicked. As Dan said today, he's not panicked. Like, I think we got talent on this defensive front that, obviously Hutch was on another level, but you're going to just have to try new strategies, figure out new ways. You got a lot of talent on this defense.
I agree.
Do you think the Lions will trade for somebody?
I think they'll try or look anyway. It's got to be the right deal.
Has to be right.
The thing was, like Crosby, the one everybody wants, he gets
what a perfect fit.
Yeah, but he's $25 million a year for the next 3 years. It's just
it would take multiple first rounders.
It's not practical.
We have too many pillars already on this team. There's too many. He's a bedrock type guy. Like, he's a top end defensive end. Like, just like Hutch. Like, he's like, if they trade him away, they're going to need some serious capital for him. And then we're going to be paying him a lot of money.
Miles,
and then it stops you from signing like one or two other guys on the team as well.
Yeah, maybe three. Like in this case.
So,
yeah.
That's why I think they'll be crafty. I like Trayvon Walker is probably my favorite one floating out there because I feel like he just hasn't done enough to get like a mega pick.
He's actually
maybe
playing
like a
pretty
solid
decent ball.
Like a solid pick. I'm not saying like we won't pay. Like we're gonna pay. He's gonna cost, but he's not like tearing it up like Crosby or something like that.
There's two I've seen that are the most reasonable. This is on Pride of Detroit. I don't know if you read that already. Some of the targets for the Lions, if they did want to go. So Darius Smith, he's 32.
Yeah,
plays on the Browns. Who, if you've watched the Browns, it's bad.
Sinking ship right there.
He's only at 1.2 million on the cap this year, and he's not what he once was, but he's still wrecking up. He has 4 or 5 sacks this year. He's still productive from the outside. So that's a possibility that it'll probably maybe a 5th or 7th round pick. It wouldn't cost too much unless there's a lot of people buying for his services. The other one that really interested me was Harold Landry of the Titans, because the Titans are not playing too well right now. He's locked it up for 2 more years at $17 million a year, which is a lot more reasonable. And he's only 28, so you're getting him in his prime years.
Yeah.
And he's coming off an injury, but he's had a productive year this year, and he's position flexible. He goes inside, outside. So I think that would be a great fit if they could make it happen.
Here's a question, Z. The
other
other
Walker
side
is the other one.
The other side of that, Z. What do you think? You feel okay if they decide not to make a move?
Yes, that's just putting more faith in Aaron Glenn to scheme up ways to create pressure. So
yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
I think we got some dudes right now who have some very enticing and exciting prospects. Like Ukwu looks like if he keeps getting reps, he could be a kind of a force in there. Nowaski has some really nice upside at 6'3", 50. I think he ran like a 4.5 coming out. The dude's very athletic. I like this is like where it gets kind of fun, even though it's miserable. Hutch is down, but now you got to see who the hero is going to be. Who's going to step up? Who's going to develop into something more than we thought they were?
Right.
Prove themselves. They've been chomping at the bit for that opportunity. Now they got it.
I'll tell you what, they're not afraid to use guys.
Nope.
No,
they're not.
I mean, when they started this team, remember when they first came on, they were playing rookies left and right. Of course, they had nothing to lose back then, but even now, they're dipping into the pool. They're pulling guys up from the practice squad, letting them play serious snaps, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to play anybody, and I like that. I think the team appreciates that too. I think the players appreciate that. So I think it really helps.
I agree.
Oh, they definitely do. I still think the Lions do make a move at some point.
I think a move will happen with you,
even if it's a depth piece.
We need depth there. That much I will say. I'm excited about Pascal as the main guy. But hey, one more thing about Dan Campbell.
Against the run. He's great against the run.
Related to what you were just saying about Dan Campbell, it's interesting the way he kind of severs him off from personnel decisions. Severs himself from personnel decisions during the season. He's like, that's just all Brad's. They ask him about personnel and who he coaches the guys he's got. That's his team, and he believes in his team. And I think that's a kind of a good mentality. And those guys, someone will appreciate that faith. That faith might make people step up, more than they.
You think it's totally true though that he's not discussing it with Campbell?
I'm sure he is.
They gotta be.
Well,
this is what I think.
Is different than...
I think Brad Holmes has a couple guys that he is thinking about targeting and gets the opinion of the coaches. Because also Harold Landry, from the Titans, the Lions defensive line coach, coached him in Tennessee for a few years. So there's a familiarity there as well. So it wouldn't take long to pick up the scheme from a defensive line standpoint.
Point.
Yeah, I would imagine he gets it all from Brad or whoever has that. Like, he's not out there looking though.
I'm sure they ask opinions on the players before they would pull the trigger.
I agree. But as far as like what they want to spend and all that, and who's available, I don't know. I think it's just and it's also a little bit of coach speak too. I realize that as well to kind of.
Hey, what did you guys think of Tom Brady doing the color commentary on that game?
It was okay.
I'll tell you what, it was really fun to listen to Tom Brady sit there and gush about the Detroit Lions for 3 hours. I like that much.
He did love it. He loved the way Ben Johnson was calling plays too. He was really a big fan of his during the game. I don't know how he couldn't be. It was a masterclass.
He also dubbed us the best team right now in football.
Probably right. I mean,
but Brady made a good point, and here's the one I think of his best points he made the whole time. He says, they're running all these trick plays and all this fantastic offense, but you need the players good enough to execute this stuff. I think a lot of teams want to do this stuff, but they can't execute it. Like Amon-Ra. How many of these trick plays Amon-Ra is the guy doing the handoff or the pitch back or or whatever. These guys handle it so well. I mean, they execute to perfection these plays. So what a great, like you say, for Ben Johnson to have these tools at his disposal to execute these incredible plays. I mean, it's got to be like a dream for an OC, to work with these guys. And an offensive line that just is unstoppable, the super talent everywhere in every position. It's just wow. It's yeah. I mean,
you can't. I mean, like you're right. There's not. Where are we weak on offense? I don't think we are.
I mean, the big question was the third, fourth wide receiver. So
and that's been
looks
answered
like we have
well.
A pretty good answer there at the moment. So
I mean, we kind of settled into just replace Reynolds with what's his face, the Irishman, as UJ says.
Tim Patrick.
Yeah, Tim Patrick.
And, actually, J-Mo stepping up as the number 2 has been.
He's been awesome. He's been
awesome.
As good as we could have hoped for coming into the season.
Yep.
Everything that we heard about him in the offseason has been true.
He seems like if he was being forced to do what CeeDee Lamb is doing for the Cowboys, he'd have a way more yards. But
probably,
But he's just not needed that way, and that's fine.
Nope.
There's just one other comment I want to make about that overall game is the physical nature of the Lions football team. That Dallas team was a beaten down team. Dak Prescott was by the beginning of the third quarter. He wanted to go home more than anything, man. That guy
I think the beginning of the first quarter or end of the first quarter.
You might be right, but that guy did not want to go back on the field, man. He was getting harassed and hit and everything. Some of his pass, he wasn't even stepping into passes anymore. He just sort of throwing them, off balance and just trying to get the ball out so they wouldn't get hit. It was really embarrassing. Even CeeDee Lamb, you can see CeeDee Lamb kind of had that, I don't know, that not loser mentality. What am I trying to say? But he was kind of a beaten down,
defeated man
too. He tried hard. He played as hard as he could, I think. But I think by the second half, he was beaten too.
Oh
yeah, it was a depleted team. This wasn't even the same Cowboys team we lost to last year. But it don't matter. We
Not
showed up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We got business done, and we did it in resounding fashion. A little bad luck in there, but the execution was just fantastic. And I think Dan talked about how everyone kind of felt really good, meaning this machine is already humming like a well-oiled machine, this team. And they're knowing that they're feeling that confidence because they're putting in that work, they're executing this stuff well at practice, they're feeling it, and it's coming true on the field because their talent is so immense.
And this is also why I really want the Lions to get that first round bye in the playoffs. I think with the Lions, give them an extra week of preparation for these games. Like with how smart our coaches are, they come up with some really good game plans.
Yeah.
Same thing. It goes for the Super Bowl. Give the Lions coaches 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. We're gonna come up with a really good game plan. At the very least, to start these games. The game scripts at the beginning of games under Ben Johnson. He got off to a slow start this year, but he's humming now.
Ooh. One more thing I need to highlight, though, because this was the number 2 passing offense. Like, this isn't the same Cowboys as last year, but this wasn't a bad Cowboys passing offense. We made them one-dimensional, which was still their best dimension, and we still dominated them there. If that doesn't speak to what we've added to our secondary this year, like Terrion and Carlton, Amik, all these guys, like, we're on this defense is on another level, and it's only getting better. And even without Hutch, I think there's just like a certain level of gelling as everyone's kind of understanding their assignments better. I mean, we still got some badasses. You got Campbell in the middle there. Like, I think this defense is going to be good.
In regard to Terry,
Jack Campbell 7 tackles. In this game,
he was solid. But Terrion, I think, is turning slowly into a star before our eyes. He is a sticky cornerback, man. I mean,
right? He never gets beat.
He's so sticky, and I mean, Carlton Davis same way. Yeah, this secondary is just night and day from previous years. So very exciting.
Cam Sutton getting arrested was a great thing to watch.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, no.
What a boon for the secondary.
Oh my god.
Because I mean, these cornerbacks clearly look better than anything we're getting out of him.
Yeah,
it's night and day difference.
Wild.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph got another pick in this game too. I love to see that.
Kirby, baby.
That
man's. It's like that combo of him and Branch right now might be the best in the league.
It's really fun. That's why we got to keep up the pressure. You know, he's second in interceptions though to Green Bay's Xavier McKinney, who was 5.
You guys remember the days when we started this podcast and the Patricia years? I think it was maybe the beginning of the Patricia years. Maybe it was before the Patricia year. I can't remember exactly when we started. But
right at the transition.
Remember, we had nothing like. We were trying to make everything sound positive the best we could, and there was like hardly ever anything good to say, but we tried. And now there's just nothing but good things to say at the moment. And it's really, I don't know. It's
Well, it was like every podcast come out was like the same thing. Like,
well, yeah, we were part like drinking the Blue Kool-Aid was because we wanted to be positive versus all the negative stuff.
Oh my god, it seems like another lifetime ago now, but with the way they're playing, so.
Oh, definitely.
This is so tremendous, just so tremendous. And I just want to say happy birthday, Jerry Jones. I hope you enjoyed our birthday present to you. Enjoy.
It was Jared Goff's birthday too.
Hey, and another thing too, they keep asking us, "Was this a revenge thing?" Oh no, this is just we just went out there and bullshit. This was totally revenge. If you've ever played football, if you ever played the game of football,
oh yeah,
fucking, they were in the locker rooms. It was all about revenge. It was personal. It was revenge. It was everything you can imagine. But they get in front of the cameras like, oh no, we just tried to execute our game the best we could, And there's it's nothing. We're just sure, yeah, right. I believe you.
I mean, like I mentioned with the way they line up the offense, tackles multiple times clearly is a dig to the
clearly
refs
on
from
the
last
mind.
year.
Yeah.
But then Jared Goff, he gets the game ball. Probably Campbell starts the speech saying, "I brought my stats with me this week."
Yeah, that was terrific.
And then he gives the game ball to Jared Goff, and then Jared Goff gives it right back to Campbell.
Campbell was like trying not to cry. He was like getting real emotional. It was a great moment in the locker room. It was really good.
UJ, I think it definitely was a revenge game because some of the players did even answer as much, but like. I do think that Dan Campbell makes a point not to make that a central theme in any given game. Like last year's game is not the main motivator. This team is looking for perfection. And so it's about getting better every day and executing your job one rep at a time. But that being said, I think he understands the power of it and still likes to tap into it just a wee bit. And it clearly gives us an edge. Look what we've done to the teams that we lost to last year. This year, I mean, we've been rolling them. So someone did say revenge tour. I think it was JMO. So it's not off their minds clearly. But I don't think he likes to overdo it though, because they got to keep the first thing first, which is the rep in front of you. But yeah, that's the way I think it goes.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's any other. I mean, it's like all winners in this game. So
pretty much.
Ranch.
The only bad thing I saw in this game was our kick coverage. Kind of failed in the second half there.
Basically gave 3 points.
Dallas was desperate. Yeah. Well, I got to give Dallas credit though. It was interesting the way they ran those kick returns. I don't know who the kid was running them back, but they're faking the pass, the pass back or the pitch or whatever, and kind of threw the Lions off. Kid almost ran it back, but the kicker got him. So,
right.
I don't know. It was good execution on their part, but I think Phipps going to be hitting the drawing board a little bit here and hitting it hard in practice with these guys. So,
I've seen a lot more kick returns recently in the NFL.
I think that's a good trend.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good trend. That was the whole point of changing the rules, is to create more returns. So.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Lions figure it out because they like to mess around there. So I kind of half expected us to be one of the more creative early adapters and figuring this thing out, but it's just a weird concept still, I think.
It's really strange, especially when like someone throws like when the refs throw a flag and it looks like nobody moved, but like somebody moved right before there's like contact with the ball.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of goofy. Like imagine the Super Bowl starting. Oh, there's a flag. What? Nobody moved.
It looks so weird on camera.
Nobody just slightly moved.
Yeah, it looks so weird on camera though. Like the ball's going flying through, and no one's moving on the field, and then the guy finally catches it, and all of a sudden, there's movement. It's just strange.
I don't know if did you see and you still missed that element of surprise. I don't know if you saw the Alabama-South Carolina game by any chance, but South Carolina comes back, they score a crazy touchdown to make it a 2-point game. Don't get the 2-point conversion. So the kicker or maybe no, actually it's a different game. I can't remember what game this happened in. Oh, it was Ohio State Oregon. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Oregon kicker just shoots a line drive 10 yards right at the guy 10 yards away, right off his hip, bounces right back to the kicker.
That's
awesome. Get the
awesome.
ball back. Probably won the game because of that, honestly. And you just completely lose that now.
Yeah.
Because you have to declare when you're onside kicking and stuff.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Honestly, this whole thing is bad. Like even the old kickoff style, as bad as it was getting, like all the touchbacks, like there's just something about that like build up to the initial kickoff of the game.
Right.
And then it's like usually like 5 seconds, then you realize it's not returning. Then it's like, okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, now it's just like a guy like on an island kicking the ball.
Yeah, it's like the ball. Everyone's just standing still for the first 30 seconds. It's weird.
It is
right because at the very least, like you got all guys like they're swinging around like 1, 2,
Yeah, like there's momentum to it.
Yeah. I agree. It looks weird. It doesn't seem like that many more returns are occurring. I don't know the exact numbers, unfortunately.
Well, in the beginning, it seemed like
one
there was
person
no returns. There was everything was a touchback, but it seems like
right. It was like 67%.
I think now they're just like, hey, why not? Let's try, man. Let's see what our guys can do. Maybe break one.
Yeah. One person that I don't think we really highlighted was Khalif Raymond had a nice game.
Mm-hmm.
They worked him in a little. And Ben actually talked about how he needed to get Khalif more involved. Like, I think he's struggling even to get the ball spread about.
It's hard when everybody's playing so good.
I know.
He's got so many weapons. But I like the effort to spread it out because one-dimensional teams often get beat.
And how good is our tight end room right now? It's really good. And Wright is getting well, I don't know if he had any catches in this game. He was targeted at least once on a seam pattern that almost was a huge play. Goff just missed him on that play. But the blocking
right, Goff got to throw it inside on that one.
Yeah.
He Gibbs beat his man.
Absolutely.
You're talking about Wright.
Right, Brock Wright.
No,
I'm not talking about the Gibbs one. I'm talking about
he's talking about Gibbs on a wheel like a seam route up the middle.
Yeah, but Brock Wright ran one earlier that Goff missed on too, which could have been a huge play. And
but like that connection right there, Goff and Gibbs is like when that thing starts clicking. Look out, NFL, and on another level. Like him and Gibbs haven't really found their sync yet as a receiving back or quarterback, which is kind of funny because that was like one of the main things we were promised with him coming out was like, oh, he's going to be like this like dual threat, like an elite weapon, which like he's been great, but like they haven't synced for many like difficult routes or anything yet. It's mostly been like dump offs and stuff for Gibbs. But like he's got that speed when he can do those routes, like, and they can get in timing. Like that's just gonna be another dynamic that hasn't really started clicking yet, and we're already on like firing.
You're right, it hasn't started clicking yet. I think it will eventually. I hope. I really do. But I'm a little worried about Goff though. You know, and his quarterback rating's been sinking since last week. He dropped like 5 points from last week. I think it's something to be concerned about, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I'm very worried.
I think he dropped from 158 something to 153.
Right, it was 155.8, 153.8 this week.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, still, he's
2
dropping,
points.
though, you know. It's kind of like an arrow pointing down a little bit.
Yeah, Goff trending down, huh?
But he's obviously looking much better. 8 touchdowns and 4 picks on the year now for him. So
he's settled in for sure.
Oh my God, he's in such command
it's
now.
along.
And I think Campbell said something like he's one of the best leaders he's ever worked around. And I'm believing. I'm 100% bought in. Right, Goff is just so in control right
100.
now. And like Brady said, it's partly because he has such a great O-line, but man, Goff is just owning it. He is just playing lights out right now. He is fantastic.
Yep.
Well, they have a hell of a challenge up this week, the Lions. They are trailing to Minnesota, who a lot of people at the beginning of the season, or the experts, whatever, in Vegas had like the Vikings last in the NFC North. And the Vikings are one of the 2 last undefeated teams in the NFL. You know what's crazy? So this is the first time since 2002, 4 teams in a division have had 4 wins or more. Wow. 6 weeks into the season. The NFC North is absolutely
kicking
stacked, ass this year. Vikings at 5-0. They're on a bye week this week. Packers destroyed the Cardinals, and the Bears destroyed the Jaguars. Now the Bears have gone against 3 of the bottom 4 defenses the last 3 weeks, and all I hear about from Bears fans is, "Oh God, this guy's the best," Caleb, etc. I'm like, wait till he plays a good team. Anyways, I just love the Bears so much. But regardless, so the Lions sit at 4-1 in second place, and then Packers and Bears at 4-2. But now we're getting into the division games. The Lions are underdogs going into Minnesota this week in Vegas. They're 2-point underdogs. I love it. I love it. Roof.
Though
underdog,
that's like
baby.
That's like barely underdog, right? Because isn't that almost saying like they like the Lions slightly, like by like a fraction, considering they usually give like the 3 to the home advantage?
I guess you're right. Yeah.
But like, I'm actually surprised. I thought the reaction to Hutch's injury would be more dramatic. It's definitely been from some people. Like I think Orlovsky's like they're not contenders anymore. What an idiot! Like you ran out the back of the end zone, you jamoke.
So the other thing crazy about the NFC North, it's not only that they have like every team has 4 wins or more, but they also have the 4 largest point differentials in the NFL. The Vikings at 63 point differential, Lions plus 60, Green Bay plus 41, the Bears plus 47. So
it's pretty impressive.
That's also insane.
I think the early matchup to look out for, just to highlight, will be our secondary versus that receiving core.
Especially one Justin Jefferson, who will be assigned to probably Carlton Davis.
Probably,
I'd imagine.
I would imagine.
And Sam Darnold, he's been the bigger matchup here is the Lions offense versus the Minnesota defense. Minnesota's had number 1 defense in the NFL thus far this year. They are shutting down people left and right. So it'll be a big challenge. They love to like crowd the line with some people. Rush
business
3,
is about to be
2.
wide open.
They're known for Brian Flores he's been coordinated pretty well this year. So it'll be. We'll get into all that later this week when we preview it. But the Lions right now second place in the NFC, which also makes this a bigger game for seeding purposes down the line. Because the Lions really need that 1 seed. Get that home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. Get that first round bye as
they
well.
Don't need
get
it,
healthy.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, yes. But this was just like I said. This is one of the most fun games I've ever watched as a Lions fan since I've been alive. There's some other ones where we've had blowouts, but just the way they did this one, just doing anything and everything they wanted to do at will on both sides of the ball.
Clinical.
The only cloud is obviously the Hutch injury. super painful.
It is, man. But
it is.
Well, good that Bob. I'll bring up Bob a comment he made first, since he's not here. He just thanked me for introducing him to addition by subtraction concept in the last episode, and I don't want to say you're welcome, Bob. Anything to help us get through this hard time with losing Aiden.
That's right. Yeah,
it is going to be interesting to see what they do. That's for sure.
I think they'll think of something.
And I liked what they got. Some of the guys to mess around with. It's going to be. I think it'll be good. I think this defense is going to it'll evolve in a new way. That's all. It'll suck for a bit, but.
So let me ask you guys an important question.
Not having Aiden.
Can I ask you an important question?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cocktail during watching a Lions game?
I mean, I love Anti-Hero IPA, so I'll go with that one.
IPA. You young guys in your IPAs.
No, you're looking for whiskey
it's
or
a young guy
or
thing.
Something.
IPAs.
Probably like wine, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
Definitely not wine. I can tell you that for me.
I don't really drink.
Well, if it's an early game, it's my coffee and Bailey's.
Oh, that's
later on. I'll move to beer.
No London games this
and
year.
Whiskey. Because I'm an old guy. Z. We drink whiskey. That's why I go into a bar and say, "Give me some whiskey." And now, in the old days, you just say, "Give me whiskey."
Where did you want?
And then they'd give you whiskey. Now it's like, "What kind do you want?" We have 80,000 different varieties. Which one do you want? Just give me the damn whiskey in the dirty glass.
Yeah, the 10 you like, we don't serve those.
But all right, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, gentlemen, here on the pod. What a game. What a game.
Ooh.
Probably the closest they ever come to Red Dog's prediction. So it was really cool to see that.
Pretty close.
Hey, wait a minute. Mine was close, too.
Yours was close, too.
Mine was closer by like a significant margin, like points. Yours was like 10.
I was 42 to 13.
42-13.
I was 47 to 9.
11. You were 2 points further away than I was.
Anyways, I love it. I love it. So I want to see. So Minnesota's been blowing a lot of people, so I look forward to Lions taking it to them next week in their own house.
At your house.
I think that's going to be their first real test, and they're going to fail it miserably.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be
so I think we'll be back. We'll release the next episode on Thursday previewing. I think we will be bringing back Entering the Lion's Den. So look out for that. Where I am a brave Vikings fan. Enter the Lions.
Who are we going to feast on this week?
Well, you'll see on Thursday. But if you want to follow us, do so on Instagram at Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid, Twitter /X at Drinking Lions, or for video, YouTube. That's at on YouTube, youtube.com/@DTBK_Lions, or just type in Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid and subscribe on YouTube. Easy to find us. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, please download, please subscribe, please leave a review. And I, of course, want to thank our producer, Kid J. Kid J. Who crushes it every single week, and his own Rams. We thank them every day for gifting us Jared Goff and 2 first-round picks while they battle around in mediocrity. Anyways, we will wrap it up here.
Super Bowl worth it?
Wait, really quick. Yeah, Kid J, was it worth it still? The Super Bowl victory and everything that's followed since?
Every second of it. Definitely worth it.
Likely thing to say.
Do you like Stafford's veneers?
Look great on him, works for him.
It's like he's got a glowworm in his mouth.
He was on the Fox pregame show this week too, throwing it around with the
I
crew.
Saw that. I saw that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, preparing to make his break.
He was doing like the no-look passes and everything. It was kind of fun.
Oh, I missed that part.
That's probably why he got the veneers. The signs are adding up. You got the veneers. Now he's showing up as a guest appearance for hosting and stuff. That's what Burleson was doing. That's all I'm saying. We're going to see Stafford on a Sunday.
Nate Burleson's really moved up in the media world, though.
He's really
like
good, though.
The morning show host and everything, which is like a lucrative position. Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate you. And last but not least, as always,
Go.